Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation Special Board of Directors meeting. Today is February the 23rd, 2026, and my name is Farid Amin, and I have the distinct pleasure of chairing this committee. Let me take this opportunity to welcome our board members and welcome our staff and our virtual attendees to this special meeting. I'd like to acknowledge that February is Black History Month, and last week marked Mahashivaratri and the beginning of the Lunar New Year, including Ramadan and Lent. We've got a fairly truncated agenda today. We've got a couple of items for discussion. First of all, we will review and discuss the Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation Committee Chair and membership, and we also have a procurement change order. We have no deputation, so we should stay within our half-an-hour time limit. Following this meeting at 3 p.m. today, we'll have our special Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation Quality and Tenant Engagement Committee meeting. I will now proceed to our land and African ancestral acknowledgement. Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation recognizes that we live and work on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat nations, and that this area is now home to a diverse population of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We recognize that Toronto is situated within the traditional territories governed by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Treaty between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe nations, the Two-Row Wampum Treaty between the Haudenosaunee and the Dutch, as well as Treaty 13 and the Williams Treaties involving the Anishinaabe and the Crown. This agreement remains in effect today, underscoring our shared responsibility as treaty people. Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation has benefited from these treaties and the resources of this land by providing essential housing services to seniors in Toronto. We are dedicated to furthering reconciliation initiatives, which include facilitating staff education on the historical and ongoing impacts of policies affecting Indigenous peoples. This encompasses topics such as the Indian Act, residential schools, treaty violations, and the continued crisis surrounding missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. Now for the African ancestral acknowledgement. Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation acknowledges the racism and injustices faced by individuals who were brought to this land involuntarily, particularly those affected by the transatlantic slave trade. We acknowledge the experiences of Black people who arrived in Canada seeking a better life following the abolition of slavery by the British in 1834, while also recognizing the structural, systemic, and individual racisms that they encountered, which continues to persist today. This racism culminated in the tragic destruction of Africville, which was once the largest settlement of the Black community in Canada. Toronto Seniors Housing is committed to recognizing all forms of racism, especially anti-Black racism, and is actively working to combat these injustices. We will now proceed to item number 3, which is new business and approval of the public meeting agenda. Are there any new business or any amendments to today's agenda? Hearing none, may I ask someone move that the February 23rd, 2026 public board meeting agenda be approved as presented? Okay, moved by Brenda, seconded by Linda. All in favor? That is approved. Agenda is approved. We'll now proceed to item number 4. May I call for any declaration of conflict of interest? Seeing none, if something were to arise during the course of our meeting, please identify the conflict and we will address it at that time. On that basis, we will proceed to item number 5, which is the Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation Committee membership and chair. Karen, may I ask that you display the committee membership and chairs, please? Okay, for the benefit of our audience and the directors, I'll just read the 2026 Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation Board Committee composition. The AFRC, which is the Audit, Finance and Risk Committee, the chair is Costa. The members are Lawrence, Jess, Brenda, and myself as ex officio member. For Corporate Governance and Human Resources Committee, popularly known as CGHRC, Brenda Paris is the chair, Councillor Crisanti as vice chair, Costa is a member of that committee as well, and I am an ex officio. And for the Quality and Tenant Engagement Committee, Linda is our chair, Linda Jackson, Councillor Crisanti as the vice chair, Jess is a member, as well as Jim, with myself as the ex officio. Before I ask for a motion or any questions anyone might have on this particular item, I just want to thank those who serve as outgoing chair. I mean, in particular, Lawrence did a terrific job as the chair of Audit, Finance and Risk Committee. Lawrence will remain as the vice chair of this committee. But I want to thank Lawrence for his due diligence. I think Lawrence has set us on a path of fiscal integrity and has strengthened the work that staff has done by bringing his perspective and his experience to bear in the discussions that we would have had. So thank you very much, Lawrence, and thank all the other members who put their hands up and agreed to serve on one or two committee. Linda, thank you for your longevity. We appreciate your experience, and QTE, as you know, is one of our popular and most active committees. So thank you for agreeing to be the chair. And Brenda, thanks for also putting your hands up to be the chair of the Corporate Governance and Human Resources Committee. And our one of our newest director, Costa, also, I was going to say agreed, but he was voluntold, and he graciously agreed. So Costa, thanks for also agreeing to be part of the chair of one of our committees. So with that, if there are no questions or considerations, I would need a motion to approve this.
So move, Mr. Chair.
So moved by Brenda, seconded by Jim. Karen, do you want to put the motion up for the benefit of our audience?
Sorry, just one moment.
Sorry, Karen.
Yeah.
Okay, can you put it back up? Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so it was moved by Brenda, seconded by Jim, and the motion to approve the Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation Committee membership as presented. With that, we'll move on to the next item, and I will hand it over to you, Vince.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and to the board. Item number 6 on the docket is the procurement change order. This is going to the board for approval. This item went through the January 28th AFRC, in which the committee approved the procurement change order to add additional funds for 2 items. One is the Toronto Community Housing Corporation in the amount of $13,147,813, which will take up to February of 2027, along with Hardy Catering in the amount of $39,591.64, which will take up to December 31st, 2025 for holiday meals for community partnerships and programming. Attachment 1 has all of the details in front of you, and I'll take any questions if there are any at this time.
Okay, are there any questions for Vince? Okay. If not, we are looking for a motion to approve this procurement change order. May I get a committee member to approve and award the following change order in which the cumulative change order value exceeds 20% of the original commitment value of the contract. The motion A is the Toronto Community Housing Corporation TSHC Service Delivery Agreement fee extension to February 2027 in the amount of $13,147,813. And B, RT Catering Inc. Holiday meals for community partnerships and programming to December 31st, 2025 in the amount of $39,591.64. May I have someone move and second that motion, please?
I so move.
Okay, moved by Costa, seconded by Councillor Casanti. All in favor? That is approved. So with that, I think we've come to the end of our special Board of Directors meeting. That was perhaps the fastest meeting in the history of the Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation. If we can keep all this meeting at this length, Councillor, we can give you back some of your time. Anyway, I need a motion to adjourn. I just want to remind our audience, the directors, that we have a QTech meeting starting at 3 o'clock using this same link, and Karen will facilitate that sort of seamless transition from this meeting to the next meeting. So can I get a motion to adjourn?
So move,
Linda.
Councillor Crisanti moves, seconded by Linda. All in favor? That is approved. We're adjourned. See you folks in 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.
So if
Thanks,
people
everyone.